The sofa is big, isn't it? It's super big.
And yes,
Yeah,
people.
no
And yes, people, what are we saying? So we are in Bali today, which is super sick, with my main man, Jem. Nice to have you on, bro. But Jem is a Google Ads agency owner and specialist and an EU ecom mogul, I would say, which is pretty sick. But yeah, it's good to have you on, man. Like, actually, like, respect. Super sick, super sick. And co-host Andy, Villa Man, super hyped to have you on as well. Super sick. But yeah, man, just kick it off. Who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, so I am Jem, 24 years old, turning 25 in May.
That's amazing.
Been doing ecom since December 2017, essentially. Started off with drop shipping, bought traffic on Fiverr, didn't know what I was doing, right? Bought influencer shoutouts that were from fake pages with bot followers, and like I didn't know what I was doing, right? Because everyone starts off, and like back then, I don't know when you guys started, but back then it was kind of hard to get information because there was like many of these YouTubers like, oh, we do influencer shoutouts and this and that, but there was like no clear way of, you know, just buying a course and getting all the knowledge, but you had to figure it out yourself,
Yeah,
right? Essentially back then, 2017. So eventually started media buying, then Google Ads for other people in 2018 for dentists. I started my first client and took on a few clients for ecom, and that's, you know, how I eventually got back into ecom and, you know, started from this freelancing thing to actually
Building like a proper business.
to hiring people, to doing it for other people, to doing it for bigger and bigger and bigger brands, to signing bigger and bigger and bigger clients, and that's essentially what we've done. I've ran an info product as well, educational company
sick.
for 1 year, did 7 figures, and some other stuff. Still running ecom, still going strong. Actually, did most of my money in the US, running a brand right now in Germany and Netherlands, expanded, like I told you, into the US like 4 days ago or something. Yeah, going good so far.
So how come when you started and you're like navigating your way through, how come you chose, it sounded like your main business to start off with was Google Ads, right?
Mm-hmm.
How come you chose, because when you're starting off, it's a crazy pit of like knowledge and what to choose. How come you went with Google Ads?
Here's the thing, I didn't know anything about video editing, and I was very intimidated by it. Like even up to this day, I don't know how to video edit. I have a sick graphic designer, Michael, and he's doing everything for me. And of course, we have our video editors. We have some services where we're subscribed, where it's like you have a creative strategist and you can brief them, you send them the briefing, and then they do it for you. But like if it comes to video editing and the creative part of like how do I edit it, like man, I cannot do that.
I feel like Google's really good for images.
For image ads?
Yeah, image ads.
I mean, you can do a lot of things on GDN, but like barely anyone does GDN. GDN is like a thing that people use for content arbitrage, for example, or retargeting and everything. And on shopping, of course, you have images as well. And like it's like, of course, you can test the images, but it's not like the first lever to do so. And I mean, Google started to actually do image extensions back in I think last year, 2022. Or end of 2021, I'm not too sure, where it's just like an additional extension where you have the search ad and then you can see the image. But like the good thing was that essentially you could start off by just having keywords that are super high intent or just, you know, long form keywords.
So what age did this all start?
2017, I was 19 and a half,
Fair. So that's pretty early. I would say that's pretty early. But then obviously we met in Dubai, which was pretty fun. I feel like so many people when you're meeting them, there's a lot of young guns, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many young
Especially
guns.
if we're talking about TikTok ads, because many people are starting off with TikTok ads right now instead of Facebook or Google or whatever.
This is true actually.
And especially if we're talking about last year where TikTok CPMs, I mean, CPMs are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger because the market, it's not getting saturated, but more people are using it. The platform is actually maturing and everything, right? But CPMs were super cheap, and you saw people running ecom for like a month or two and making 5-figure profit first month, which is freaking crazy. And I mean, if you take a look at people like Parsa or Solja, man, the numbers that these guys are running up is fucking insane.
Through TikTok?
Yeah, just on TikTok.
That's crazy.
Because I remember Parsa back then was only doing Twitter influencers. And like paying pages and like some...
Who is Parsa? I'm not aware of Parsa. Is he an ecom guy?
Yeah, ecom guy.
On Twitter Space?
He's barely doing anything on Twitter. I think last year was 12 million or something. Like he's very active in Discords, but like he's not active on social media. He doesn't post results or anything. But
so how come when you chose the agency model, you were like, right, we're going to do Google Ads, not Facebook, not TikTok?
I mean, first of all, back then TikTok wasn't a thing.
Yeah, fair. Because I've got.
Because back then it was called Musical.ly. right?
Oh,
Not
shit,
not
yeah,
TikTok.
true.
I'm pretty sure.
True.
That's the first thing. And again, like if you're doing Facebook ads, and of course back then I didn't know that, but right now if you're running a Facebook agency, man, if you're not doing any creatives or UGC or any of that sort, like the only lever that you have is media buying, but media buying isn't the lever. The lever that you have is creatives. And it's the same with TikTok.
So I've been working on a free Discord. At the moment, I'm offering free weekly live Q&As in the Discord, which if you're not taken up, the link's in the bio. You're silly, because this is a crazy opportunity to get free time with me to basically ask any questions you want about e-commerce. And if you are struggling with, I will solve your problem. So do this for free, sign up in the link below, join the community, and I probably will be dropping some more stuff there in the future. But at the moment it's free, so take the chance now before I change my mind and make it paid or something, because the value is crazy. Check it out.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
And that's why I like when I'm hiring media buyers, I'm like, I don't want to pay you a lot, because you can get, it's all creative. It's all creative, and Google's actually like probably the only one who's not creative based right now. And that's why I was saying, that's what the answer I want to get out of you, because in my opinion, Google Ads agency, you can scale it better because the ads are like, it runs off the back end of TikTok and Facebook, but then it also has top of end funnel as well. So it's like really easy to, I reckon it'd be easier to manage more clients, and it's a more sustainable agency because it tracks better as well.
It's definitely more sustainable because it's, as you said, not only pull, but it can also serve as push. If we're talking about YouTube ads and GDN, GDN is not something that we're spending a lot of money on. Google Display Network. So if you're going into a blog or anything and you see these images, these banners, if you go to Forbes, for example, and you have like banners on the side, or any blog, any like New York Times, for example, like all of this is either GDN or programmatic advertising, which is what? Like, of course, not only Taboola and native ads, but also just like other.
I didn't even know what native ads were. Someone mentioned that to me the other day. I was like, never heard of that. Do they work well? Native ads.
I've barely done anything on them. I have a friend, like I have a few friends that are really good at it, but like we're not doing it. Like all of native that I know is you need some decent AOV. You need to test like 5 to 10K an ad spend just to get it to work. Because what you have to do in the beginning is exclude all of the publishers, right? So you don't get the shit traffic, which is kind of like GDN. Because the way you do it is start excluding, because you get a lot of shit, and then you feed the campaign, feed the algorithm basically data. You give the pixel data, snippet data, and then you have data, and then you optimize. It's the same way that search essentially works. You have keywords, and then you exclude the search terms just so you're sure that you can, really target what you're doing and not go left and right, and really steer what you want to target actually.
So if anyone was doing an agency right now, like, do you think team building is one of the biggest aspects of an agency?
For sure, like processes, systems, because like at the end of the day, you have two things within an agency, right? One is systems and SOPs, and one is people. If you have proper systems and SOPs, you can just, provided you have people that are potato that are performing the same, and someone is working for you and one is a prospect, you can fire one and put another one into that respective position, and he's going to perform just as good because the systems are supporting what he's supposed to do in his role essentially.
How are you vetting people when you're hiring? Because I struggle with that, man. Like, I'll just hire, if they seem nice, I'm like, I'll hire you.
Yeah.
And then it goes really bad.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, it depends on the work experience that they have, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about a degree or anything.
Yeah, because I wouldn't either, to be fair.
Because like we're in the age where people are getting their degrees and everything.
Waste of time. Yeah,
it's like okay, I know for a fact that they've been in university and were able to do something for 3 years and they have commitment and everything, but it's like I don't have that as a requirement.
Did you go to uni?
I went and I quit.
You quit?
Yeah.
I didn't quit. I stuck it out.
Finished?
I finished. Did you go to uni?
I also quit it, after
You
6
quit?
months.
What did you study?
What did you study?
Economics.
Same economics. Yeah.
I did engineering.
No way.
Bro,
That's
systems.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I passed. But that was like a super.
Yeah, you have more respect for pulling through it.
But it was difficult. Like, I didn't want to do it.
I was actually so close of committing to finishing it.
But it is literally just
I had like 20 credits left or something and I dropped out. I'm like, man.
It is literally just a bit of words on some paper though.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, you're not looking for university degrees then when you're hiring.
No, I don't care about that.
Do you have like a system, like if someone's not performing, you sort of like, when do you know, like do you have like a probation period, and do you know if you're gonna keep them on or not after a certain amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about something who's in the agency, the probation is 3 months. If it's something who is like for ecom customer support, it's 2 weeks, and then they have to go through the entire thing. They have a 1 week trial and then 2 week probation essentially. It depends, right? Let's just say 2 weeks. They come in 2 weeks, we test them out, and of course they get a salary and everything. They get access to the onboarding and all that kind of stuff. But like, I need to make sure that first of all they've worked in a role with previous experience, and that it's not something where they're like a junior. And like, of course we're hiring juniors, but I need the person to have some sort of experience, because of course, like people say, you should not necessarily only hire for skills, but for drive and everything. Yeah, but like, why wouldn't you hire for people who have both?
Yeah, true.
Right? Because then, like, of course, you can also hire someone who does not have skills, and then you can train them, but then you're losing time, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You can do that, but it depends on how fast you really want to move and how urgent you need to hire someone. Because what I've noticed recently is, instead of hiring reactively, where I'm noticing, oh man, like we need more video creators, right? Then I'm like, okay, instead of hiring someone now, I need to think about the OKRs and everything that I'm going to have within this quarter, next quarter, and then I can hire proactively, because I know, okay, like if we want to scale, what do we need? Well, we need someone who writes briefs, which is a creative strategist. We need someone who does the entire video editing, right? We need a content manager or a social media manager who's doing all of the back and forth with the content creators, because you can scale with ripped content, but you can only scale up until a certain level with ripped content at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think you're better off doing original content, especially if you want to do it long term.
Yeah.
I notice a big difference in running your own content and ripping content. It seems like Meta is kind of identifying, okay, this kind of content has been advertised a couple of times. Your CPCs just start out very high compared to like a shitty video that's just a UGC that you recorded. It performs pretty decent, even though the content is not that good or not on the same level like the ripped one.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that before?
Sometimes, I mean, this is what we're seeing with TikTok ads, and everyone was saying,
TikTok's really fast to get saturated, isn't it?
Yeah, and the reason why is if you're spending money on ads, and let's say the CPM that you have on TikTok is what, let's say $5, and on Facebook it's 50, you're reaching people for the same amount of money 10 times faster. So what does that mean? The creative is burning out 10 times faster.
Yeah, because
you need to iterate faster, right?
Yeah.
And this is why you should use modular content, meaning every video that you have, every ad creative that you have is split into different parts. First of all, and to really simplify it, you have 3 parts. First one is a hook, right?
Yeah.
Capturing the attention.
Yeah, it's like the first 3 seconds.
Second one, features, benefits, problem, solution, whatever it is. Third one, call to action. And if you break it down a bit more, you can say, okay, here, hook. What is the hook? Before and after. Or the hook could also be problem, solution. Or the hook could be a testimonial in the retargeting sequence, right? And this is how you really start to identify modular content, meaning you can use this hook for the other creative, and instead of having 3 unique creatives with 3 unique concepts with maybe 3 hooks each, you don't only have 9 creatives. Out of these 9 creatives, you can probably build 20, 90,
that's literally
20 to 50 creatives.
That's literally what I do.
100%.
Have you noticed on TikTok like the ad fatigue?
The creatives burn out a lot faster. Probably like you mentioned, the CPMs are a lot cheaper, but you're burning a lot faster through the impressions, because you only have like a certain amount of people. So if you can reach them cheaper, you will burn through them very quickly.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. So, but I feel like Google's more consistent, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it takes time to get it started.
Yeah.
Because again, you need to spend money to get the data, and then based off of the data, you need to optimize.
Then I'm gonna crack this beer open. I'm gonna get higher.
It's not like Facebook where you're testing creatives, but you have keywords, and essentially, if you like, there's such a easy way to run Google. You just go on SEMrush, you take the URL of the competitor and see exactly what they're doing, right? And of course, it's not 100% accurate, but for somewhat, you get to see what kind of keywords they're targeting, right? And based off what they're targeting, you can just emulate exactly what they're targeting, take the keywords, and just write a better copy. And at the end of the day, if the quality score is high enough, which means ad relevance, landing page experience, right? And expected click-through rate, if all of these 3 are kind of decent, if you have a quality score of 7, then you're good to go. You can crush on Google, and that is long-term, because it's super consistent.
How much leverage do you have with the Google search ads and the copy that you are rotating? Because in my experience, the most that you can do with Google to improve your performance is playing around with the landing page that you send people to, like adjusting the intent that the person has to the search ads and which kind of copy you have there, and matching it with the landing page.
Yeah, I mean, you can think of it like Facebook creatives, where you have different angles, right? And you can test different angles for respective keywords. So what I tend to do, because back then you had expanded text ads, but right now you only have responsive, meaning you have 50 different headlines, 4 different descriptions. Each of these headlines can be up to 30 characters. Each description can be up to 90 characters. First of all, you need to try and maximize everything that you
I
have.
have no clue about Google Ads. That's why I'm just like taking this in.
The thing is, if you're maximizing everything that you're doing, which is headlines and descriptions, the real estate, so the ad estate, the space of the entire ad that you have is getting bigger. And let's say you have an ad that is, you know, this big, and you have an ad that is this big because of site links and description, and you don't only have like 3 words, but you have a proper description, proper headlines, and proper angles, proper problems that, you know, the respective buying persona has, right? Then you really get to think, okay, now because I have this setup, I'm able to test properly, and of course it's only marginal, but it can make or break the campaign. If the copy is bad, it's going to convert significantly less. And of course, if you have an advertorial, for example, like this is where people start to really test. It's either advertorials or a listicle or a review page, especially for in the affiliate space, everyone is using review pages, top 10 wireless headphones.
Okay.
And then if you get to see all of these trusted consumer reports.com or something, like, man, these are not proper sites. These are websites that all of these affiliates own and built themselves, and then have a one-page checkout.
I've never dived into the affiliate world, but the affiliate world's good.
Yeah.
Fair. So I've got a question, and I struggle.
Here's the thing with affiliates.
Yeah.
Affiliates are the proper media buyers because they only have a certain percent of margin to play with, right?
Okay.
If they're not profitable, they cannot run the business.
Okay.
Because for the affiliates, all they do is media buying and have the landing page. They don't
This is
have
true.
anything to do with customer
That's actually
support or
true.
delivery or
That's so
anything.
true.
So in order to really make money as an affiliate, you have to
It's all
be
media buying.
really dialed in on the media buying.
And that's where you
For
place
sure.
the ad. It's got to be. It's mainly where, because I see it as you want to place the ad and the right ad with the right creative
Yeah.
in the flow of traffic that's right for the ad. So it's where you place it in the right flow of traffic. I see it as like catching fish down a river.
I feel
you
like
need the right net.
I feel like this tofu, mofu, bofu approach is like,
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it can make a difference if you have really sequential targeting and everything, and you say, okay,
So there's
this
people
is-
making good money off
this is
affiliates.
cool. Oh, for sure. I know a lot of people making good money on affiliate.
Fair.
Like, affiliates are the people, and this is generally speaking, but affiliates are the better media buyers,
Shit.
for sure.
Fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the question I was going to ask is, and this is something I struggle with, so you've had multiple businesses in the online space. How did you manage multiple businesses, and how did you choose partners, etc.? Like, yeah, obviously, I know that with that Alpha Sport, everyone has problems with partners. Everyone I know personally, even back home, business partners are very difficult and you have to get it right. However, it's like, how do you manage multiple businesses?
Yeah.
Because I struggle with the task allocation, mental capacity. Like,
Yeah.
it's so difficult for me to think about multiple businesses at once. I thought that was a snake on the floor, but it was a little. It was a fucking bug or something, but it's gone now. But yeah, multiple businesses.
Yeah. First things first, you need to, and I've mentioned this before, you need to have proper systems and processes in
Okay.
place so you're able to not only manage the business, but so you're able to manage yourself, right? And it starts with a calendar, it starts with a daily routine, it starts by having an assistant who's taking the, you know,
Like the payload on.
to say really plain, the stupid tasks like emails,
Okay.
calendars.
Do you have an
scheduling appointments.
assistant?
Of course, I have many assistants. One is just for my personal life that is doing.
Fair.
If I fly somewhere, she books me a flight. If I need
Like,
a hotel,
actually?
yeah, proper.
And that helps.
Bro, I can literally send her a voice message right now, and she's gonna reply in 5 minutes and be like, "Okay, what do you need?"
Yeah.
For sure.
And where is this Asia based?
No, Germany.
Fair.
For me personally, if I have a German assistant and she's able to speak German, like
Make sure like
English, you know, language barrier, and it's not like my English is terrible.
No, your English
But
is
it's just,
really good.
but it's just like if you have someone that's speaking German and is also familiar with German things, bureaucracy, and especially some tax things, you know, it just makes the entire thing way easier because you don't have to elaborate on how certain things work in Germany.
Okay.
But she knows because she grew up in Germany all her life and still lives there, right?
So how did you find that job role?
My assistant,
Yeah.
actually a friend of mine.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's definitely what you want, because you want someone you can trust.
It's good culture.
Yeah, that's definitely how
It's not just like work relationship, but like we're also hanging out. In Germany, it's not like, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Also coming to Bali in September, I think.
Sick.
And then I'm gonna go with the team to a few keynotes and events in May in Europe.
So you're saying the key to scale multiple businesses is systems and hiring things that can be hired for to save you time and mental capacity.
But also making sure you set priorities properly, right?
And that's what I struggle with.
Because some things are long term. I mean, at the end of the day, you have 3 timelines. One is short term, mid term, long term, and it's the same
you're thinking like this.
Of course, and it's the same way you plan your business and you plan your tasks, right?
Okay.
If you go into your ad account and raise the budget, you're not going to make 100K in a day and have that consistent as a revenue stream.
Yeah.
In order to do 100K consistently, what do you need to do? Well, you need to have a creative strategist, again, video editor, content manager. You need to have proper systems in order to have the modular content be created, right? And have it stitched together with the other content that you have. And of course, everything needs to be in place. So it's essentially always just breaking it down. Like, what do you need to do in order to hit 100K a day? It's not just like you put something in the ad account and raise the budget. Like,
I feel like a lot of people think like that as well.
yeah.
And then you come into.
I wish it was that easy. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Alex from Aussie calls it the woman in the red dress. So whenever you're doing well and people know you, they're gonna come to you with offers like, yo, got this NFT project, Jam. Like, you wanna hop on? Crypto project, hop on. Ecom stores. And something I wanted to ask you is, with all the distractions, especially on your level and being in the public, and people offering you deals, how do you decide which kind of projects you should follow and trust?
Yeah, I've taken a lot of bad deals.
Yeah,
recently, let me put it that way. I'm not going to elaborate too much on that.
It's all good.
But it's hard. Like, what you really need to pay attention to is what the people want and their vision, and you know what kind of level they are and where they want to go, right? So really aligning what your values are and the values of the other person, and how they want the company of the future of the company to look like. It's super hard. It's not like you can just take anyone and partner with them. Like,
especially
man, I've taken so many bad partners. Not like because the partners are bad, but just like because of things we didn't really talk through or thought through, and because there was just a mismatch and things my partner didn't get along with or I didn't get along with, right? Or just visions didn't align. Like,
and then especially when it's making good money, it's even more difficult because someone will stop pulling their leg, then you've got different views, someone wants to do this.
Yeah.
But I think that comes down to a working relationship.
Yeah.
In my head, if you get investors that just have like an opinion, that would be more ideal. Like sort of like investors that are mentors. So you run the business.
Taking ass investments too, bro.
You hire, but yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, that's because, and that goes to the point actually, is every time I've met you, you are a very well connected guy. You know all the guys in the EU space. There's a lot of what's been the benefit of like networking for you?
It's a door opener, essentially. I mean, if we talk about your watch.
Oh yeah, let's actually talk about the watch. So this Rolex, I got a Rolex. We went to Dubai, met in Dubai. This Rolex happened because a Jen spoke to someone, and now I've got a Rolex. And that was before I'd even met him. And it was all because I met someone who met someone.
Yeah.
So if you could just dive into that.
I was on an event on a mastermind of a friend of mine who runs a payment processor called Copecard, doing 9 figures a year, which is
9 figures
a year, crazy. Raoul Plicat, crazy guy, 28 years old, turned 29 actually. And I went to this mastermind, and one guy was asking, I was in the info space back then, I did good money, but now I had 2 kids, I was spending the past 3 years with my kids and my family and enjoying family life, right? And he was asking for some advice, and they had this round, and I was raising my hand, but the time was already over, so I just walked up to him after. I was like, you should do this, let me send you a few resources so you can check it out yourself. And sent him a few things, and then we met for a lunch in the Dubai Mall, and then we talked about business, and then it kind of went to personal and watches, you know, because I know this guy has like a watch portfolio of more than 3 million.
That's crazy.
And I talked about watches, and I'm like, man, everything I'm getting is great. And he was like, man, you don't have a contact to an AD? I'm like, no. And he was like, okay, let's change it. Let me send Tarek a message right now. Hello, my friend Tarek. Okay, you'll be there in 7 minutes. And then he started his shift, walked there, and he was like, okay, hello, talking. And then, today we have a delivery coming in. And I was like, damn.
And for reference, it is very hard to you cannot just walk into a Rolex store and get a watch. You will be denied. Every person who walks into a watch shop, even if you're rich, it doesn't matter if you're rich, you will get denied because there is a waiting list. In Dubai, I think it's over like 1 million, a waiting list for like one store. I'm pretty sure, something like that.
I don't know. It's like this entire thing is so complicated.
But
a friend of mine has like a course on it. Like his name is Kai Watchvice.
Okay.
And he has this course, and it's funny because on the day before I picked up my watch, we were on a yacht, and I bought the course because let me support. Fair. And then the next day I was able to pick it up, so it's kind of good karma, I guess, in a sense.
Yes.
But essentially, I walked in there and I was talking to Tarek, and then I walked out, and then I sent him a message. I replied to his message, and then he sent me everything that he was getting in today. Right, and usually if you order or if you want to get on a watch, it's not like you can walk in and say, what do you have in stock? Because, bro, most of the cases they always have something in stock, but they have their playbook and rules on how they really deal with the customers, right? So it's not like here, choose this and then you pay. It's not like that.
No.
So essentially, 2 hours after, picked it up with a friend of mine, Ahmed. And man, I think within 2 weeks, like all of our friends, how much did we spend? Like 600,000 at that store, mate, for sure.
There was a group of how many? Like 15 of us, and I think like eight to 10 of us got watches in the space of like 2 weeks.
I think a bit less, like 6, right?
In the space of like 2.
Me, you, Julian, Ashwin, Seb. That was funny as well because Tarek was sending a message in the WhatsApp group. Oh guys, I have a gold day date.
Yeah, so
not even 2 hours after he picks it up and sends a picture. It's crazy.
It was over like 300k worth watch. So it's got to be in like the space of 2 weeks.
I mean on my profile there's around 266,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And Julian's as well because he has Seb's day date as well.
Yeah, super crazy.
Yeah, around a bit more like 500k.
To understand like the importance of a connection when you're going to an AD, which is an authenticated dealer, is one of our friends purchased what was that gold watch, the day date, yellow gold. What was it?
Yeah.
It was like a 40-50k watch. That came in to the store for someone on the wish list, but we could get it because we knew someone. So the guy didn't get it in the end, even though he had come to the store to get it. So that's how connection worked, which is pretty crazy. But I think why it's like that is because when you walk out the store, you're instantly in profit. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's an investment, so you're instantly in profit as soon as you walk out.
Yeah.
Which is super sick.
What
watches have you got?
Few GMTs, a few day dates. Date just like one day date.
That one's super nice.
I have the Moisture Perpetual Tiffany. When I was in Dubai, my friend made the intro to AP, so I'm waiting on 2 APs. One is I don't know the exact model number. Let me show you.
APs are like, I'm super hyped on AP. You're gonna have to lose your Rolex virginity at some point.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
You need to connect me to this guy,
mate. We'll give him a shout out, Tarek. We'll shout him out because he is. I'm pretty sure he's building a course or consulting on how to get Rolexes because he works there.
Yeah, he'll do the same.
So he works.
So these are the 2 ones that I'm gonna pick up. This is just like a Royal Oak.
That's super sick.
And this one,
how much is that one?
List is like, I don't know, 22, I think.
That's right. 22 what?
1,000 euros.
That's right.
And then I walk out and like, this watch right now is like 35, 40, and then you have this one.
Oh, that's
This
really
one
nice.
is, I don't know the exact, like 60.
That's 38 mil?
65? Yeah. I actually think 38 and 39 is way better than 41. Because I wore the 41, it's
I
like...
think this one's 41.
Yeah, it's 41. But yeah, like this one, for example,
I feel like they look more masculine, those. The APs.
Yeah. This one is like what, 60, 65, let's say 60. On the market, this one goes for 120. So literally,
doubles.
Yeah, like AP is crazy.
That's mental.
This is crazy because there are some APs. If you have the Tourbillon, for example, I don't know how much they are on the list. But there are some tourbillons that go for like 300, 500, 600k, like crazy.
That's mental.
RM also
So
very crazy. Patek same.
For a connection, you walk out the store and you got double the amount of money. But obviously,
Literally.
you can't be buying on the intent to sell, because then you ain't getting any more. Crazy, man. That's super crazy.
But I mean,
bro.
I'm not buying watches to sell. Just like wearing watches. It's a nice pickup, you know.
Yeah, mate, it's super sick. Like when I met all you boys, like I've never really thought about it, but then I was like, this is sick. I got into it, like I want to start collecting them, in a sense of like when I've got an achievement or something, just get a little watch. But yeah, it's super important.
I have a good question for you.
Yes.
So rewinding back on your story and how you get started with Fiverr and working with some dentist clients.
Yeah.
Which kind of struggles did you have on your journey?
Man, like if you start a business and don't know anything about business because no one taught you, or you didn't buy a course on how to run a business, because like running the technical thing is one thing and buying a course on Google Ads, but how to communicate with the client, what paperwork you need, you know, how to handle the payments,
It's a completely different thing.
centralize the communication. Because when I started out, man, everything was on WhatsApp. You can run a business, like I'm pretty sure you can run a business off of WhatsApp, but running an agency off of WhatsApp is not sustainable for sure. Yeah.
I can imagine it's pretty annoying, like hanging out with your friends and seeing like messages from your client come in, like why does the performance suck, man?
Do you like this landing page?
That's crazy.
Yeah. How did you get your first clients? Like, did you do cold calling, email
Bro,
marketing?
I did
back in the day. Back in the day.
I was cold calling people on yellow pages and like literally entered a
Yellow
code.
pages.
Well, like German
the
yellow
book.
pages, not the book, but like online thing. I
Okay,
don't know what
I was
it's
gonna
called,
say.
like a German yellow pages kind of, you know. And basically, what you're able to do is just call people. You can do Google Maps, so enter whatever dentist, and this is also one thing that I did. Like look for people who were running ads, and then look for people who were not running ads. And I was like, oh yeah, this is your competitor. He's running ads, and this way he's able to get more clients. And essentially, the only question you need to know: are you able to onboard more clients? Yes or no? Because if they are able to onboard more clients, they're like they have the capacity, so they're looking for a way to make more money. And if you come in with a solution, because people don't care for what you're selling them, they care for the result, right? They care about the value that you can provide them. For example, with a Google Ads agency, what do you do for ecom? Well, you help people who don't, and let's make this really plain, people who are not running Google Ads. What can you do? You can set up even a brand search campaign, and people are going to make more money at the end of the day. You can set up basic retargeting, dynamic retargeting, preferably if you have a lot of SKUs, and then you're going to make the person more money. And if they have an ROI on the investment on you, and at the end are left off with some profit, like, man, I don't care if I would make a 100K investment in an agency if they're able to give me more money. And of course, there's no way in the world that you can guarantee to make someone more money. But if you look at case studies and track records and everything, what they've done before, people they've worked with, sure.
How would you operate in today's market, as like advertising services are pretty saturated? Like there are so many guys offering paid ads and media buying, and even though a company wants to grow, they don't trust those people anymore. So how would you approach a business through cold calling or email marketing to sign them, or at least get them on a call to pitch them a service, if they already have been in contact with so many agencies that promised them results but couldn't get it, and their trust is basically broken?
That's a good question.
Yeah, this is actually a hard one, because if you're just starting out, this is not the ideal customer that I would go for, because it's like they've been already burned.
That's a really good answer.
And you don't want to really go for these people who have been already burned, right? Because there's low-hanging fruit that you can go after for people that have never been pitched. And of course, you don't know for a fact if they've been pitched before, but you know that they are not doing it right now. And if you see, okay, other people are doing it, then you can do it exactly the same way, just do it a bit better.
So
right?
you
Because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If some other dentist is running Google Ads to a landing page, what do? You get a retainer, you collect the retainer, you have someone build a landing page, or you learn on how to build a landing page where you have the opt-in or whatever, or type form, whatever it is, right? There are like some things that you can even book appointments with online in the US. We're not doing any lead in the US, so I don't know, but like for restaurants, for example, right? Because restaurants are running ads as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, how do you really optimize the funnel in a way that it makes sense for the customer to be able to either call the leads or send them an email? Like it depends on what you're trying to sell, right?
Yeah.
Do you just want to build the email list and then blast on email and sell something on the email? Do you want to have them book an appointment? Do you have them just leave their data so your setter or your sales can reach out and call them within 15 minutes? Right?
You're so right, because
Of course.
as an ecom brand owner, as an ecom brand owner, I would not hire anyone without experience. I want them to be like, look, you don't have a clue, Nathan. I'm going to do this 10x better than you.
Yeah.
But they need to, someone who's starting out needs to go to like the dentists, the lawyers, basically physical stores, other stores that are not in the ecom, and get that experience. And then you can come like, look, I've done this, I'm doing that. Because it's pretty quick to find out if someone doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I have another question. So let's say most of the people are entering the e-commerce market, right? They do either creatives, advertising services, email marketing, or so on. It's an attractive market, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, you want to hold a specific standard of clients that you want to attract. Let's say they need to do at least 30K per month in revenue, 50K. Those people get 10 emails per week easily. How do you get in touch with those people? Or also another question that links back to it, how can somebody get connected with you and get on a deal with you, like work for you or offer you a other kind of deal? How do you approach high-level people to get on a call and connect with them?
Yeah, it has to be personalized, because if we're talking about signing clients and outreach, there's like so many ways you can do. First of all, and I'm not going to name any names, but this is what we've done. This is what I've done strategic-wise for a different agency. First of all, build a personal brand if you have expertise, which is amazing, right? And then you get a lot of inbound leads when people go on your website. This is one thing you could do. The other thing is use something like Contact Bird and just send mass DMs on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. What a Contact Bird. I see the guy on Twitter keep posting about it.
Max.
Are we shouting him out?
Yeah, I think I have a call with them this week because they're looking
fair.
for investors.
That'd be dope.
But Contact Bird for sure.
Okay.
And like another sick thing you can do is actually do mass DMs, but looking for content creators. So you can choose a profile, right, and then say, oh, it either needs to be this profile, or they need to have this in their bio or whatever, and then you can literally send a DM blast into outreach and be like, okay, what are your rates and your portfolio, or even like this is the application form, fill it out, and like this is what we're doing as well from a brand account. This is why I even got to talk to Max about it. But Contact Bird, not only for UGC, but of course also for reaching out to people.
Yeah.
You could do the same thing with emails with Instant AI, send mass emails. Then you have LinkedIn and Twitter, where you, of course, can not only mass DM and everything and automate the entire thing, but you can just send a message to people, to your ICP, whatever.
So you've got
And Loom videos, preferably.
Yeah. So you've got the systems to reach out to people, but
We're not doing any outreach. This is like
no.
what I would do if I would be starting out.
But I feel my personal opinion is,
Yeah.
not everyone can do it. Like,
Why not?
some people have that spark to be able to close a sale, and I feel like some people don't. Like, whatever the systems,
Yeah.
like he sent like a beginner closing high to a client. Like, can anyone do that with systems as such, or does it have to be a sort of personality trait to which you can sort of see an opportunity and close it, like that entrepreneurship spark?
Like, here's the thing, it depends. If you run ads to an offer and you have them book a sales call, they're totally cold, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't know you, and what you need to do is really nail content marketing, so really they're able to get in touch with a person with what you do.
Okay.
And just run content marketing ads, right? But if you're just starting out, like, you don't need to be a god at sales. You just need to be really personalized and be able to fix the problem that they have, or not fix the problem, but provide them more money than what they would invest you with.
Okay.
And honestly, if I was starting out with any service, I would do it for free. I wouldn't even charge. And you know why? Just to get testimonials, just to get experience, and just to have,
That's the nugget right there.
yeah, just to have, at the end of the day, a recommendation. Because if there's one business owner who's super happy with you and you are able to get them results, then you're not, starting out from scratch anymore, but you actually have results, and you're able to show these results to other people. We're like, okay, this is what we've done for one of your competitors in a different country or whatever, or this is what we've done for a company that is, in the dentist space, and then you're talking to a contractor for what, like taxes, tax office, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, what they're doing, they just want appointments, so it's essentially the same.
Yeah,
The way you structure the ads and everything is different. The way you run the ads in terms of keywords or whatever, it's different. But at core, the principle is exactly the same because you're not changing anything.
But the whole free thing, man.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely the way to do it.
Because if people are charging starting out and they don't have any experience, they're just trying to cash in on money and make money as fast as possible.
Also, you've got that relationship with the person.
For
And
sure.
let's say it goes well.
For sure.
You just have to pay them. Like, someone comes to me like, because I need short form content. Someone comes to me like, yo, I'm going to do it for free for like 2 months. Let's start. By the time it's all set up and we're running, I'm like, alright, sweet, yeah, get paid. You're already in the loop, like it's already started.
It's a bit difficult to choose the right clients because you have some people that are like, oh, do a trial run, 1 week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then, oh, it was bad, even though it was good, and then you're not able to get paid.
But that's going to happen a few times if you're starting
Of course, it's going to happen, but this is why it's important to choose the right customer.
Yeah, I have a different opinion about it. Because if somebody would come to me and say like, hey, I want to be a media buyer and manage the ads of your clients for free. Yeah. First thing that I hear is, okay, you have no experience.
This is the worst example you could have chosen because it involves so much risk.
That's different.
Okay, different thing. Yeah. So, hey, I want to work for you and help you to create UGC content or edit content for you, right? Okay, you're gonna work for free, but I guess because you don't charge anything, you don't have experience. So you're gonna come to me every day and ask me stupid questions and I need to teach you. So it costs me nothing monetary, but I need to invest my time, which is very expensive.
So if I was the beginner coming across, I would blag it and be like, look, we're really good, we're a strong agency, I'll work for you for free for 2 months and you're going to love my results by the end of it. They don't know you ain't got a clue, ain't got any experience.
Bro,
that's how I'd come across.
I have a nugget for the viewers. So if you want to connect with somebody or get your first clients, what you should do is actually create some free value. Let's say you reach out to an e-commerce brand, you're gonna edit 2 videos or create 5 graphic ads. Tell them like, yo, Jen, this is for you, man. Don't worry about it. Enjoy the content. Just run ads and let me know how it works.
I've had that.
I don't ask anything. I don't ask for anything. Like,
this is what a friend of mine is doing right now. Yeah. He's
I've
started to create this UGC agency, and he's been doing UGC for us and for John, Vern Ecom.
Yeah.
You know, and I saw like the brand name of John in his Twitter header, and I was like, wait, you're doing UGC for John too? Like, I didn't know. He's like, how did you find out? I'm like, bro, you have the logo on your Twitter header. And you know, like, he's a good friend of mine. He's doing it for free just to get the testimonial and everything for me, for John, for a few other people. No, I think John actually pays him. My bad, John pays him. Yeah. But like, I think I was one of the first 2 or 3 people who he was starting out with because he was trying to really validate what he was doing and run trial and error, right? And because he's a good friend of mine, we were like, yeah. Like, first of all, I'm not going to complain about free creatives because he knows stuff about ecom and stuff. And he worked in an agency for years. And then if I'm spending money on it, let's say I'm spending 2K in budget on ads. Like, bro, if one ad is hitting, I'm already ROI on the creatives. So like, at the end, it's a testing game with creatives. But yeah, perfect approach. A friend of mine, his name is Nico Lampe, and the way he was doing it back then, I think 2018 or something, is called carpet bombing. So he was just recording a Loom video and was shitting on the brand. He was like, this is what you do bad, this is what you do bad, this is what you do bad, this is wrong, this should be like this, and 5 minutes. And then he's like, oh, okay, if you want to fix it, talk to us, book a call, let me know, send me a message back. Man, he was able to sign so many clients. And this is how a friend of mine was starting out, and his name is Mark, and he's running one of the biggest Facebook marketing agencies. Like last year, I think he spent 100 million on Facebook ads, and he was like top spender in Europe. And he's like running the biggest brands in Europe. He's running Y-Food, he's running Waterdrop, he was running Emma Matratzen, he's running Colibri Skincare, like a lot of other brands that are like humongous. He's running About You, Mr. Specs, and like people know About You. Like, this is the brands that he's running. Like, it's nuts. And the way he started out was by this carpet bombing, by telling people, okay, this is shit, what you're doing, and I can do it better, and I'll do it for free. Let's try it out. And he got traction by initially doing it for another friend of mine, Paul Franzleb, who's running Paul Valentine, which is a brand that in Germany you know for sure. And that started out when on Valentine's Day 2021. So it was super risky on involving him with the ads and everything and letting him manage everything, letting him do the creatives. But man, it paid off. And now I think Mark can for sure say that he's forever grateful to Paul because he made a lot of great intros. But what Mark is doing is amazing. He's doing an amazing job.
I've got another question. Like, you've done some big, I would say, big speeches at like events and stuff. I've never been in that space of like events, big commercial events, marketing events. What are they, and how come you're speaking at them? Like, just, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A complete breakdown of it, of what it is.
Oof. Okay. Complete breakdown. Good friend of mine, Nick Shackelford, runs this event called Geek Out or Geek X now. He renamed it.
Apparently, Geek Out's the place to be.
Yeah. Geek Out is amazing.
Okay.
So talked to Nick, and back in, that was in Kiev in 2021 in August, they had a Geek Out event, and I was going with a few friends of mine. Like, I don't know, I brought like 8 or 10 people, and because they saw how many people I was bringing, they always said, "Oh, the famous German squad." Like, I remember Max, one of the people organizing it and everything.
There's a lot of Germans.
Oh, the famous German squad, and I went with Julian, for example, as well, and Christian as well, and Lucas.
Classic.
I don't know if you've met Lucas.
Maybe. I can't remember.
German guy, also Google Ads agency.
What about Michael Mitchell? Mate, look,
No.
there were so many German dudes in Dubai, man.
Anyways, we went with a lot of people, like 10 people, 8, 10, 12 people. So they kind of knew, okay, like there's this squad going on. This guy brought like all these people, so there has to be something up with them. Because, like, how do you sell something for 5K, an event for 5K?
It's true.
Like, you have to do some good convincing to your friends. You have to say, oh, it's gonna be worth it. And it was freaking amazing. Like, if you talk to Julie about it, man, we were driving tanks, we were shooting AKs and shotguns and everything, and man, it was a lot of fun. But eventually they were like, oh, we need some TikTok ads. And usually the organization is super straight and they know for sure what they're doing. They have all the speakers planned. They go through 3 trial runs before a keynote and speech that they have, and look at the deck and everything. And Nick teaches everyone on how, like, Nick literally mentors everyone on how to run the keynotes. Because he's been speaking affiliate world for like 4 or 5 years or something, right? So essentially I was like, okay, yeah, I can just build a quick deck. So I built a deck in like 1 hour or something. And then they didn't have any time, but I was like, okay, whatever, next time, right? And then they really, like, and this is what Nick told me. Nick was like, okay, like, usually people would have been butthurt, but you like took it so chill. So like, that's when I knew you were a good guy. So then eventually he invited me to LA to speak there, and I would have went, but my passport was valid for less than 6 months. And if your passport is valid for less than 6 months, you cannot go to the US. And I was setting up my company in September 2021 in Dubai. So he was like, okay, next time. So then before Affiliate World last year in February in Dubai, that's when it kind of all started, you know, and then I had a few great intros from that to Joshua Chin, for example, Kronos Agency. I was speaking there in Singapore, speaking in at Geek Out, Geek X, Barcelona, Miami. Then we went to EO in Miami. I got reached out a lot of times actually for German conferences because of a big conference that I was speaking at, where I just sent a cold email. It literally worked.
That's mad. That's so mad. How do you have the confidence to speak at these events?
It's kind of scary, especially if it's a stage with like 10,000 people.
How did you get pumped for it? Like, what's the pre process?
Fuck, bro. Like,
Just a bit of fucking like.
literally the day before the conference, I was still in Miami, and then
You flew to another country and then just.
yeah, like it was planned that we went on the same date.
Okay.
But the event in Germany was on the 16th and 17th. It's like the biggest marketing event in Europe. It's called OMR. Like last year it had 70,000 attendees, not 17, 70, 70,
It's a big number.
000. A lot of people. So the flight got cancelled. We would have flown from Miami to New York, Hamburg. Got cancelled, so we had to book a new flight. And we went from Miami to, how did we fly? From Miami to Istanbul, and Istanbul to Hamburg, and I arrived at like 10 a.m. and the keynote was at 5 p.m. So I was there super hard jet lag. I was like,
You must have been so tired.
and like it was all booked out, like business class fully booked out, so we had to fly economy, and I was like, oh shit, whatever, right?
Yeah, you must have been tired.
But like being there and like the way it was treated, I was like, man, like the adrenaline went up and up and up.
So how many people were on the stage for that one?
I think 10,000 people.
And what did you talk about?
About
Ecom.
about like some case study. Like it's funny because every time I talk about something different, I don't like to talk about the same exact thing. some talk. Because of course, like I've had the same keynote twice, but it's not like I do it 3 times, because then it gets boring to me, and it's like not a challenge, and you're talking about the same exact thing that you can buy online or whatever, or that's been leaked probably all over the internet anyways. But
what's the adrenaline rush like?
Before it's crazy, but if you're on stage, you're in the zone, and you're like
proper locked in.
Yeah, it's like before, like a lot of things are going on inside your head, but if you're on stage, and like it's kind of like you have a speaker running full volume, like some techno stuff, and like it's crazy, and like a lot of things, right? And then it's like you turn the speaker off, and you just hear the ocean, for example. It's like super. You're in the zone. Then you're like once you're starting with that, and once you're on the stage, because before, of course, like first few keynotes, I was like scared and you know, and always saying but like you really get used to it once you start speaking, once you start talking. And then of course I have Nick, who's always giving me feedback. He's like, this was good, this was not good, this was ass, this was pretty ass, this should be changed.
I feel like you need the feedback though.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah, you should always take a look at what you're doing after. It's the same with creatives on Facebook. Like you get the creatives, and if you're not taking a look at them and analyzing them, and then you're wondering about why they're unprofitable, like what are you even doing, right?
Yeah, you need to get confronted with failure to learn from it and make progress. Something I wanted to ask you about ecom is, how do you see the market evolve within the next 5 to 10 years, considering the cost per click is always getting more and more expensive, people are getting better at advertising, and also considering that a lot of people test the same products. How do you make products convert that are in a saturated market?
If you talk about saturated markets, I don't feel saturation is a real thing, because
it is a thing, but you can always take a slice.
It is a thing, but if people are saying,
if you're good, it doesn't matter.
If people are saying, I cannot run this product because of saturation, that's not a real thing.
That's not real.
Because it's not the market that is saturated or the product. It's either a seasonal thing where you can run it for 3 months, 6 months out of the year, whatever it is, or it's a festive product, which is like Christmas, Valentine's Day, and then it's stagnant and dying. But the way you really circumvent this, saturation, is by just creating new angles, is by really understanding what your customer wants.
Well, essentially, there's one pie, and there's a certain amount of people trying to get that pie. You just have to be the better person to get a section out of the pie. So it's all just comes down to marketing and branding. Like, you can always enter the market. But what I always suggest to people is basically go into an evergreen niche. There's always sales in this niche. You've just got to come in with a better angle, something on trend, and you'll take a slice of the market. Example, beauty, cosmetics. That's never going away. It's one of the biggest markets, or health.
Yeah, I like to go for things that are evergreen.
It's saturated as fuck, but anyone can join it. If you're good, you will take them. That's the size of the bar.
Here's the thing. There is a thing which is called the Ansoff matrix, and if you look it up, you have 4. It's kind of like a chart, and you have 4 different squares.
Okay.
And then on the bottom right, for example, you have product development. So it starts from existing products and existing markets into new products and new markets. So if you're in an existing market with an existing product, of course it's going to be harder. You're not going to be able to scale as high. If you do product development and you go into some customizations, whatever way it is, let's say this dog bed. Everyone knows the dog bed. Everyone sells the dog bed. Oh shit.
No, I still don't got no camera on.
If we're talking about the dog bed, for example, everyone knows the dog bed. There's 2 types of dog beds though, no one really knows about it. There's one without a zipper, which is causing a lot of fucking problems because it's not machine washable, you cannot turn it inside out. And what everyone is literally advertising with, it's machine washable, you can turn it inside out, you can clean it, your dog is gonna love it, it's gonna reduce anxiety, yada yada yada, right? But once you would start advertising the dog bed with the zipper, you would have way less problems. It would actually have another USP, which is machine washable. You would get way less chargebacks because this is what people are complaining about. And this is just one of the examples, right? And this is how you go from a product that is existing in an existing market to a new product development, to really understanding, okay, this is working and people have some issues with it, but what are the issues? What can we do in order to fix these issues and really optimize the product, which is add a fucking zipper. And then people are able to wash it in the machine, right? And if you take this product, for example, into another market which is existing, you have some diversification in the existing market. However, if you go into a new market, this is when you really diversify and really can scale. So let's say if you take this product, which no one has ever seen before, and take it to a market like Mexico, for example, like, man, you can scale so fucking high because no one has ever seen it before. And this is the exact same thing that Davey has done with the hoodie. It's a product that is so simple, and everyone, like, it's a problem that people have. They're like in winter, they're cold, and you know, they want to wear a bathrobe or a blanket or whatever it is, but they can't because, you know, and then they put on some hoodies, but it's like, oh, it's not really comfortable because it's kind of high fashion, whatever it is. And the way he solved the problem is by creating a new product, which is not only product development, because he changed one thing about the product, but he created an entirely new product. And if you have an entirely new product, no one already has it. So whatever market you're going to, it's always going to be a new market. And this is how you achieve insane high scale.
Amazing. Yeah, I hear a couple of points that you touched here. One of them is improving the product, finding out which kind of pain point the existing winning product has and how you can improve it. And the other one is entering markets that haven't seen that product scale that hard yet.
Or at all,
Yeah. Something that I also like to do is, because I'm in the beauty and supplement industry, which is very competitive.
And hard.
Something that I do is breaking down the avatar to different levels. So let's say we sell fat burning supplement. You can target like a very big audience and just have like the general angle, like burn your fat. Or you can target specific age groups, let's say women over 40, being in menopause, they have specific struggles. It's super detailed, targeted, and they will resonate with the messaging.
Especially if you say menopause, because that's like the language that these people are using.
Yeah. They will notice like, okay,
every average Joe wouldn't know it.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. And those people will notice, okay, he's speaking to me, like he understands me. And especially if you mesh your unique mechanism of solving the problem with their specific issue that they're currently in, they're gonna buy. And that's how you break down a specific market that is huge, but maybe has seen a saturated angle. So what you can do is like break down the audience into different layers and target them with an angle specifically to their problem or their background. Yeah.
What I miss? Just
breaking down
development, I guess, customizations, getting into emerging markets.
I've got a lovely question to switch it all up. Why do you travel, and how come you've chosen Bali as your place to currently be?
Bali is the place to be 6 months out of the year, for me at least.
Nice.
2 months to Dubai, and the rest is traveling to events, meeting friends, going on vacation, I guess, not trying to work as much. And I've had that when I was in Fiji for 10 days because the Wi-Fi was so bad. And I wanted to work. I didn't really treat it as a vacation, but I had to because I could barely log into my ads manager. So yeah.
Okay,
that's why Bali. I mean, first of all, quality of life.
Okay.
We have our entire circle here, and most of our very, very close friends are always here.
It's true.
So, and I mean, it's not like we only have friends here, but it's like here's where the majority of the people are.
And they go, if you meet people in Bali, you usually know people all over the world.
For sure.
Like 100%.
And the amazing thing is when we all went to Dubai, Julie and I, we always have to go at the same exact time to Dubai because of our visa. Right?
Exactly.
And it's probably the same thing with you, I guess.
I'm not actually Dubai resident.
No.
I will be at some point.
Okay.
That's why I went in things get set up, but I'm holding off for now.
Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, essentially all of our friends, all of our like close circle, the people who we really deal with are here. I have a nice villa, I have a nice house. I know the clubs that I go to. I know the restaurants that I go to. I have like everything I need here. Like it's easy.
So how do you find? For me, I knew I'd do the lifestyle of like multiple places where you live. How do you find it? Because for me, it's sometimes difficult because you have to. Because I'm a non-resident of the UK, so you're same as Germany, but it's different rules. How do you find? Like, it was weird for me to get used to because I'd have to fly to a country if I didn't want to go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a weird situation. I didn't think of it. How do you find it?
Trial and error, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you can read things online about Bali, right?
Yeah.
But
I think Bali's super easy to live.
yeah, it's
Cheap.
like everything is convenient, cheap as hell.
Cheap as hell.
And like even if you're trying to spend 20 G's, you can't.
You can't.
Like it's
You can't.
impossible.
You can't.
I mean, if you lived in Ulu Cliff House, not Ulu Cliff House.
Well, you can, but that's
Ulu
just
Surf Villas, of course you can.
Yeah.
But then it's like,
Doesn't make sense.
is bigger really bigger,
It's-
right?
It's not, no.
Doesn't really matter if I live in a 2,500 square meter villa, or does it have to be 25,000 square meters?
Doesn't make difference.
Like, bro, I like the place that I have. I like the people that I live with.
Yeah.
My business partner. It's freaking easy.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, Bali's cheap, cheerful. It's good for networking.
Yeah.
It's good for work. It's good for gyms. It's good for food. It's
Yeah.
easy.
I get that
However-
a lot of people are saying that you cannot work in Bali, right? But then it always
That's the thing.
then it always depends on
You.
of course.
Can you work in Bali?
I can work in Bali. I have my entire setup in
There's
Bali.
so
my
many-
desk, my monitor. I have everything.
So many people online, podcasts, UK guys, Iman Gadsi, they all make the
Yeah.
claim. Bali's 100k a year, freelance, 100k a year or freelancers, etc. But to get to that million a year month is not being in Bali. And I'll say my opinion on it. I half agree. However, we've just been sweating out work the past few months. So I think it does depend on you. But the heat does make a difference. And there's a lot of distractions in my opinion.
There are a lot of distractions,
True.
but again, it depends on you.
Yeah.
And if you are, because here's the thing, if you are in Dubai, there's just as many distractions, if not more.
Yeah.
Because every single day you could do something new, or every single day you could go to a club. Every
Or
single day you
meet
could
new
go to a
people.
restaurant.
Or
Yeah,
meet
exactly.
new people, etc.
Because there's a lot of networking to do, so it really depends on you and how long you're staying at that respective place, and if you are really going to end up working or just going clubbing and visiting and doing some tourist stuff and having fun with your friends, right? And for me, I'm over that stage. I don't have that. I've barely done anything in Bali, to be honest. I've been to Lombok, that's the only thing. Ubud, Ulu, of course, but I haven't been to Nusa Lembongan, I haven't been to Gili. And like people would be thinking, okay, like everyone who's going to Bali has been there, right?
Yeah.
But I have not been because I know for a fact if I'm going to stay here for the foreseeable future for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, like I can just go there anytime I want.
At some
And
point.
it's for me right now, it's not the right time. And this is why I decided to not travel for a while and just be locked in and work.
That's literally what I'm doing right now.
For sure.
Not travel, but obviously we're in Bali, but right now, this isn't traveling.
No.
This is us living, chilling.
Like this is home.
yeah, which is like the crazy thing, man. Oh man, it's been a good chat. It's been a good chat.
For sure.
I reckon wrap it up. That's been a sick chat. We'll go get dinner, see
Yeah.
what happens,
Oh,
and
amazing.
we'll crack on.
Yep.
Yes, Jen. I really appreciate that. That was super good. That was super good, man.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Peace and love, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back next week. Hold up. Drop a comment. The best comment, just a positive comment. I'm going to give $100 away.
I'll match
So,
that.
yeah, and Jem's going to match that as well. I'll match it. Andy's going to match it as well, but I'll vouch for Andy as well.
He has to.
He has to. I don't want to just drop him in there. But yeah, best comment, positive comment. I'm going to choose a winner within 72 hours. So yeah, drop a comment, subscribe, like. Peace and love, guys. That was good.